I paid about $14 a piece and received free shipping when I bought these 3 shells from a seller on eBay. It's my fault that I didn't ask more questions ahead of time. I thought these were unpainted shells molded in a brown plastic. But when they came, I realized that they were actually in brown primer, a very thin coat of brown primer. But underneath that primer, they were lettered and striped originally for Pennsylvania rail lines. After some close inspection and some exploratory wet sanding, I decided that the primer was well applied, probably with an airbrush using model primer, and it was a thin coat, so I'm just going to clean it up before I paint it in the final colors. I painted all 3 shells in a nice glossy red, leaving the side vents painted black, thinking that I could decorate them for Amroad, which is a fictional rail line from the movie Silver Streak, a 1976 movie starring Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. I like the way this looks, but I don't really need 3 versions of the same engine. So I am going to take this 3rd shell and turn it into an F-7 decorated for Metra, which is a commuter rail line in Chicago. This was not meant to be an expensive project. The shells were less than $15 a piece, and I was hoping to keep the finished project around that same amount, but then I realized how many pieces were missing. These number boards are just one example, but it's also missing the 2 horns on the roof, lens for the headlight, and also the glass for the cab. Those pieces together, those 4, 5, 6 pieces, would cost probably $30 total, which is way more than I wanted to spend. So I'm going to make the pieces that I can. I'll probably end up ordering the horns. I might be able to fabricate some sort of glass for the cab, and I'm not sure what to do with the headlamp. But these number boards are easy enough, made from pieces of spare plastic with the edges cut to a 45-degree angle to fit in the hole on the nose of the F-7. They'll be painted black, and the decal kit that I bought actually came with numbers for this specific area. The blue painter's tape is fine for big areas, but to get that nice crisp edge between colors, I use this masking tape by Tamiya, and it is very good at going over raised edges, contours, going into creases. When you pull it off, you're going to see how nice and crisp an edge there is between the blue and the red. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is completely worth it because you will end up doing less touch-up later on. Bleed through with the blue tape is still possible, but it's less likely with this yellow thin tape from Tamiya. It's good stuff. For me, this part is always a little bit nerve-wracking as you peel off the tape and wait to see whether or not any paint has seeped underneath the edges. Luckily, in this case, none has, and the edges are very nice, crisp, and sharp. I think it's mostly because of the high-quality Tamiya tape. Now I'm having second thoughts, though, about these black side vents. These new number boards fit pretty well, and after I spray paint them black, I'll apply a few decals and then give them a nice glossy clear coat. Metra is a rail system that runs commuter trains between the suburbs and downtown Chicago. MTH makes a few models decorated for this line, but they're pretty expensive, so that's why I decided to make my own custom Williams Metra F-7 shell. Circuit City offers these decals in O scale on eBay for about $14. I've used them before to customize a Williams FP45 shell for Metra, and they worked really well. What really helps these decals conform to the shape of the model beneath them is this bottle of decal setting solution. It softens the decals and allows them to conform to the shapes beneath them. The bottle says it makes decals look like paint, and it actually does, especially when you're finished and you apply a clear coat over the entire model. It looks good, really good. I repainted the black side vents in a matching blue body color, and I added a white stripe at the bottom. After the decals have had time to set, I give the entire model a nice glossy clear coat before adding these final finishing touches. These homemade number boards turned out pretty well, if I do say so myself, and now they're ready to be installed. I borrowed the cab glass and the headlight lens from the same F-7 that is sharing its frame with this model right now. In the future, maybe I'll find a lens and windshield for this model, but until then, it's okay if they share. If you would like to see more of these videos, please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.